Welcome to Dress Stories. Joining us today is this fabulous guest, Kim Jurina. So thanks for coming, Kim.
Thank you for having me. I'm really thrilled to be here today to share a piece of my dress stories.
So Kim, wait till you see all the fabulous pieces that she brought. But why don't we start out by you telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do for work?
I am a optician. I'm a mobile optician where I go...
A mobile optician. We'll get into that after.
Okay, perfect. So I have a lot of experience with 20 plus years helping people with their eyes and framing their face with beautiful glasses and creating an eyewear wardrobe for them.
Nice. So when you say mobile optician, what's the difference between a mobile optician besides the obvious word? Maybe you can tell us a bit about how that looks. What does that look like?
It is, I'm no longer in a brick and mortar store, which means I have my beautiful bags that I carry with me with all my beautiful, spectacular glasses.
They are.
And we set up an appointment, and it's more like a stylizing appointment. And with my experience of my optical background, I help fill the prescription. I don't look after the eye examinations, but I will look after the complete set of glasses. So I'm a rolling optical shop.
That's awesome.
And by appointment only, and I can service anybody anywhere. So whether it be in a coffee shop or in a boardroom or at someone's dining room table, I'm happy to do that.
I think that's fabulous. And I think that is it's that whole boutique kind of specialty type of thing. There's lots of people that are busy. You know, there's things like mobile massage and mobile hairdressers and stuff. So this is just this other niche thing that who knew we needed that until we actually did need it, right?
There really is a need. And so I provide that concierge service, and
concierge, I love that word.
People love the whole concept with it.
Nice.
It's been great.
So Kim and I go way back, but not so much Kim herself, but I have known your mom and dad for quite some time through a downtown experience and through seeing each other at the same restaurant all the time for years. And then, funny enough, I moved in next door to her. So now we're neighbors, right?
Like, we are neighbors.
What a coincidence. That's
best
so
neighbors
weird.
ever.
Thank you.
Actually, when the house went for sale next door, I sat and I put a message out there and I said, whoever that next person that's going to live in that house is, they have to be fabulous and we have to get along. So it has worked out so well. So thanks for being my neighbor.
Oh, you're the best neighbor too. Oh my gosh, like it's been perfect. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who has been your biggest inspiration, fashion-wise, or even just inspiration in life in general?
You know, and I was thinking about this question, and I know there's so many different designers and different influencing people out there in the fashion world, but I'm going to bring it back to my mom. My mom is really the person that really showed me how to take care of myself, to show up looking the part. She always said, always overdress. You'll never ever feel uncomfortable being overdressed. And she is so true, because there have been situations where I've showed up and I'm like, oh, this isn't working for me. So that always really sat with me. And just to take that style to the next level, whether it be your hair or your makeup, just loving myself. She taught me how to do that.
That's pretty amazing to have. Like that's not everybody can say that. And I mean, knowing your mom too, your mom's from Georgia, isn't she?
She's a Georgia peach.
Georgia peach.
Or Southern peach.
Yeah. Your mom has great style and is always just dressed.
So a lot of that influence would definitely be coming from my mom. And just as a young girl, just always like seeing what she's doing. And I'll lead into some of that too when it comes into my career, because my mom was a very, very big part in that.
That's great. So how do you think your style has changed in the last, say, 10 years? Or has it changed? Has there been any metamorphosis or anything different?
I am a person that if it feels good for me, so I'm not really one to follow the trends. I dress more for my body type and what I feel good in. And again, same goes for eyewear. When I'm speaking to one of my clients, I talk to them about like, how does it make you feel? And so I really take that to heart for myself, practice what you preach. And if it feels good for me, then I'm going to go ahead and rock it. So some of my styles I feel are more traditional And then I accessorize and glam it up, whether it be with makeup or a really pop of color on the lip, or maybe some eyewear, or whether it be a hat or a beautiful clutch we'll talk about later. But there's so many different ways that the avenues can go with fashion.
Do you like shopping?
I love to shop, and I also love to shop for other people. So I'm that friend that will always pull stuff off of a rack and say, here, you need to try this. We're going to put some items into the dressing room and please put a show on for us.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've always did it for my family, and especially my mom. I'll always say, you have to try this on. And she loves doing it.
Nice.
My mom also, she loves to shop.
Do you shop secondhand or do you shop more traditional places?
I do both. And what has changed lately for me is I feel like the world is saturated with clothing and fashion. And to recycle and reuse is great because you get to a certain age where you don't need so much. So if you can bring in if you can bring in a couple of those classic pieces,
right,
and then, introduce accessories here and there. I don't know. That's just how I'm looking at things, because nowadays there's so many beautifully made products out there. And then there's the mass produced items, and which are almost like, I hate to say this, but it's like disposable clothing.
Right.
So disposable clothing. And what you have here in this beautiful shop is nothing but, like, it's all amazing, beautifully made, crafted clothing, which are statement pieces.
Well, I like to preach for sure about, I don't need, or I don't whatever, but, I'll say to my daughter, what do you already have something exactly like that. And she says the mom who has like 7 pairs of camper sneakers, right? Like, I tend to have, I need a pink pair and a black pair and a whatever. So I'm very selective. I'll buy quality so that it lasts a lot longer. Mm-hmm. And I buy lots of vintage and I buy lots of secondhand, but I am bad at volume. I do have a lot, but I sort of justify it that, I have a store, so I can always take it to the store if I've had it.
There is that.
Right.
But then also being part of the brand, because you need to show up representing who you are.
Right.
Angela from Swish, like, oh, yes, she's the fashionista.
Wow.
Well, it's true.
Thank you. It's the first time when I was in Toronto, I ran into some women at the airport and they said, "You're Angela from Swish." And I was like, oh yeah. Wow. So I have to, not that I don't ever wash my hair, but you got to sort of be on your best. But that's also about just being in public, I think. So I think you answered a few questions already about specifically, are you an accessories gal or not an accessories gal? So
yes, I am an accessories gal, and I'll show you some of those accessories. I love a good clutch to go with any outfit. So I've got a couple of them here, and with my...
There seems to be a little bit of a theme.
A theme is, definitely the tassel part. I love tassels. I also love bows.
That's fabulous.
And just, something that also has like a pop of color, a little bit of a statement piece here with the rhinestones. This is definitely more rock and roll or more edgy, but goes really nice with just a nice black dress as well.
Right.
Right?
Perfect. Okay. Do you have a favorite designer?
I was thinking about this, and I think my favorite designer would be DVF.
Oh,
she was the original to come with the wrap dress, and she took, not that I actually own one. I do own quite a few of her pieces, just not the wrap dress, but I love the concept. I love the timeline. I love the different fabrics she uses, and it can go on anyone's body type.
Right.
Right? Very versatile.
Did you know that one of the very first wrap dresses that DVF did was named after Angela Davis, who was the Black Panther, radical and stuff. And so the first dress is the Angela wrap dress. So,
okay.
Hello.
Yeah. And Angela, I did not realize that.
Yes. It's crazy, eh?
Have you ever had any of her dresses in the shop here?
Yes.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah. We went through a situation a while back. Some of our people who are viewing on YouTube might remember that we got that big collection from Madame Rack. And Madame Rack was a local piano instructor here in the city. And I got all the designer pieces of hers, including, there was, I think, at least 10, I can't remember, 1970s original DVF wrap dresses.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yes, I love DVF.
Great story.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she has beautiful
DVF
pieces.
would look fabulous on you too. So the other thing that I know about you is that you're also a hat person. And I see that you've brought us a hat, and it's an amazing hat.
I brought this hat right here, and this is a beautiful hat that my husband bought me in Whistler. It is made out of rabbit.
It's beautiful.
And I wanted to talk about leopard print, and the leopard prints. It's a conversation out there that the leopard print is becoming a neutral.
It is a neutral, right?
This is a new thing, and it's something we need to talk more about with introducing it into our wardrobes.
Yeah, it goes with everything.
Yeah, it does.
So you have a hat face and a hat head. I mean, most of the hats don't fit my head, so I can't wear them, but yeah, that's fabulous.
Yes.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yes, it's a gorgeous hat. They did actually taper and bring this in for me. So sometimes if you feel a hat doesn't fit you, there's always an option.
Okay.
So don't feel like you can't wear hats.
I'm interrupting you only because this is a Borsalino. So Borsalino, when I went to Rome, Borsalino is one of the top Italian brands for hats in the world, and they've been making hats for centuries. I think there's actually a painting by, I took a picture of, oh my gosh, it'll come to me. There's a very famous painting, and there's a hat in the corner that looks like a Borsalino. And this is a painting that's, hundreds of years old. And anyways, wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the Picasso of hats.
It is the Picasso of hats. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
I mean, not because it's branded. I mean, that's neither here nor there, but Borsalino is amazing. Amazing. Okay, so the elephant in the room is there. I think there's like a case of glasses.
Yes.
Who has a case of glasses?
I have cases of glasses.
I mean, of course, you have them because you're an optician.
Yes.
But let's see some of these.
But I also have
ones.
like some beautiful glasses here. All right. So
why don't you just show us a couple?
Why don't I just put a few of these on?
Sure.
We're looking at more of those retro styles coming back in.
Look at those.
And with the luxury tints. The tints are coming back, and I'm embracing this. I am on a mission to get tints back out there again.
That's like a yellow tint. That's pretty beautiful.
There was a time where back in the 70s, this type of look, it's called a faceted frame. It would have the tints on the top and the bottom, a double gradient tint. And again, this is what I'm also going to be bringing back. So this is why I actually brought this collection in, to embrace the vintage part. This supplier is actually out of Montreal. So I love that it is designed in Canada.
Gorgeous.
And it's embracing those classic styles.
But if this was my glasses from when I was young, these are yours.
Yes,
mine would have a little sticker unicorn in the corner.
A sticker unicorn, or maybe your initials.
Yes.
And that is something that we could maybe try to bring back again.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of neat.
Perfect.
So you know how things always come back into style.
That's perfect. Okay, so do you think that you are more conscious of comfort, or when it comes to style, or are you all about the glam, or if you had to sort of pigeonhole yourself?
I'm a little bit of both. I live in both of those worlds because I do love the glam. I love embellishments. I love crystals. I love statement pieces, but I also love just keeping it quiet at the same time.
Right.
So I guess I could go both ways.
So there's a piece just behind you that I'd love to see, and it is, I think it's a cape. And I think you should show us that piece and what it is about capes that you love so much.
Well, I love capes because with my body type, I don't always do it like a structure. So capes are perfect for anyone who just wants to have just a little something on top of their shoulders. This one does happen to have a full fur cuff. And this one does have the inlet,
Collar.
the collar. Yep, the fur collar. And it just changes the look for your style.
I think you just sit there like that. Yeah.
Let's just see what it looks like with the hat on. Is it too much?
No such thing as too much.
I need to ask my mom at this point.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So where do you get your fashion inspiration, do you think? Is it from magazines? Is it from, influencers?
It used to be through Pinterest. Now I feel like it's more Instagram. There's like a lot of, and once you are on a certain style, that continues to come up in your feed.
Algorithms are going to keep showing you that.
Yeah, because they're they like these beautiful capes. And so they keep showing up, right?
That kind of bugs me though, right? Because maybe you might like something else, but they're not showing it to you because they've already pigeonholed you into, I love the magazine thing where you could flip through the pages, but I feel too guilty buying magazines these days.
I haven't bought a magazine in a really long time.
Oh, when I travel, I always buy a magazine. Vanity Fair maybe, or Vogue or something.
Yeah,
and I
just
leave it
indulge.
on the plane,
carry it on, and like you can pass it on to somebody else that will enjoy it.
Or it's good for on the beach. If you're at the beach, then you have to have a magazine.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Do you feel any pressure from your community or from your family and friends to dress a certain way? I mean, your mom has been a high bar. Did you feel pressure when you were young?
The only pressure I feel is sometimes when I have some of those girlfriends that really take it to the bar, that I'm like, I need to dress for them. But do I really? Right. So then I kind of dial it back and say, you know what? I still need to be authentic and be myself. So, and that's the true story right there. Just like, what are we doing this for?
Right. Is it for you?
I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me because it makes me feel good. Going back to that feeling part.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I know that there's a lot of outside influence that happens. And then people show up saying, I need to be like this, or I need to dress like this because everyone else is doing it. And I've never really operated that way.
Or followed the trends.
Nope. Not really. So,
what is this jacket you're wearing? I love the beads on this.
This is actually from Torrid. Yeah, it is.
Torrid?
Torrid is a clothing store. It's like a national clothing store for curvier girls.
What is that?
And so it has just embellishments, and again, back to those embellishments.
It's got that kind of Moschino sort of
a little bit. Yeah, Moschino influenced.
Right.
And
really nice.
So, and that's what I do with a lot of my pieces. I'll just find something that I like, and then maybe I'll have a designer piece that I bring it all together with.
Right. Is your husband fashionable?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure from him to have a certain?
When I first met him, he had really good taste. Like he used to love to buy
in the past tense.
Well, he would buy like the designer stuff. So he'd Hugo Boss, really nice suits, and then he kind of took it to a whole nother level. And so right now, I know they used to say metrosexual, but I really wouldn't want to say that he's a metrosexual. He's in his own comfort, but
he has style.
He has style. Nice. Yeah, nice. He does. He's got this flair, and he has this amazing hair.
It's all about the hair. I think doesn't matter who you are. Hair is such a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Like actually we were at our son's open house a couple of weeks ago, and just to meet the teacher in construction, and he didn't even say his name. He commented my husband on his hair first before he even said what his name was. He was just like, you have the most amazing hair. Nice. Anyhow, so he's got great hair. Nice. And great style.
So I see that you are all in black. I am also, I tend to go towards black. I used to think when I was younger, well, if I want something lime green, then I got to buy the shoes and the this and the whatever to coordinate. Oh. Black all goes together. It's pretty simple, but you did bring something that's pretty colorful over there.
I did.
Let's see.
I brought... I don't even know how to describe this piece. When
I saw it, it's kind of caftany, but in a really...
It is like a caftan, but it has like it has this bat sleeve, And this is something that I actually purchased it in Las Vegas. And I love the pop of color because you need to have something that's going to be bright in your wardrobe.
That's fabulous.
Can't all be black.
You know what's very much like that, that talking about Vegas is like that show Palm Royale. So, you know, it's got that Palm Royale vibe, and that you should be, you know, with your big sunglasses around the pool.
Yep.
And yet super glamorous. That has that vibe to it. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I love that. Okay, so how do you think that the city of Edmonton, are you born and raised?
I was born up north in Athabasca.
Okay.
Pretty much raised in St. Albert, but there was a stint where we did live in California. So I do have some of those California roots.
How old were you when you were in California?
8 and 9. So a couple years we were there in California, just Northern California in Marin County, just outside of San Francisco.
Nice. So now that you're long-term Edmontonian, how do you think that the city has or has it informed you at all as a person or style-wise?
The city, as far as like fashion or a fashion district or what?
I think just being an Edmontonian, do you think that the city sort of has dictated who you are as a person of style, or...
You know,
What's your feeling about Edmonton?
I grew up in St. Albert, but I always wanted to live in the big city. And my mom was always like, no, you can't. You need to be here by me. And I said, no, I'm moving to the city. And White Ave was always my draw. I loved the art scene there. I loved the local operated shops there.
Did you have a favorite store when you were...
I was going to say Gravity Pope, which was great too. Still there for shoes, but Divine Decadence. Oh, and I don't know if you recall that one. That was a vintage store.
Yep.
And we used to go in there and we would buy the jeans. They would refurbish jeans and then we would put a panel strip down the side. And they had so many of those jeans. And so I think Divine Decadence would be definitely one of my favorites. And I miss it.
Do you remember the first shopping trips you ever went on?
Well, shopping trips.
Did you shop with your mom? Or
always shop with my mom.
Your mom?
So on Saturdays, we would actually work as a family in our little locally owned shop. And we would work 9 till 12. And then after that, we would go grab lunch and then go shopping.
Oh, nice.
And I remember doing that a lot with my mom. And I love work. Maybe that's why I like working Saturdays, because I knew that it was going to be like a shopping day afterwards and maybe, you know, find a little goodie here or there. But
that's a big deal.
Yeah. There's some really great memories doing that with my mom.
Like did you get to pick out what you wanted, or was it her saying you should wear a certain thing or look a certain way?
No, always
be
pick
your own person.
Always got to be my own person. She was really good about doing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been good.
Well, I think that this has been a great insight into who you are and who you are in our lovely city of Edmonton. And I have glasses coming from Kim, which I am so excited to start showing off and everything. And I think that glasses, right? When you have to wear glasses, you might as well just
embrace it.
Embrace it. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of maybe not your mom, because your mom's not as old as my mom, but you know, in high school, those pictures, those school pictures, every single person in the picture had cat eye frame. You know, there was no individuality, there was no creativity, because that was all that was out on the market, or that kind of Buddy Holly glass, you know, that frame. Whereas now, the sky's the limit.
It's incredible how many options there are, just like what there is for clothing. But you know, when people come see you as a professional, and also for myself, they want to get our advice on that. So, and you know, we're just here to help make people feel really good.
100%. Did you envision, huh?
That's spectacular,
right? That you would be in this business, taking over from your parents?
You know what? I just absolutely love what I do. I'm really good at it, and I can't see myself doing anything else but.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing that somebody can can claim, you know, saying that they love it and that's their mission, and I love what I do too. So we're both pretty lucky in that way.
I just wanted to make a quick note, because I was going to refer to it earlier, is when my mom used to do the buying for our stores, I would be that young little girl sitting next to her, watching her choose all the eyewear out of the cases, like the cases like these, like, you know, 50 different cases. And I always knew that when I get older, I want to do that.
It's in your DNA.
So there we go.
Nice. Well, thank you again, Kim.
Yes,
and
thank you.
It's been such a pleasure. And I'm so glad that you took the time out to come and visit with us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.